Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the international webinar event. For the topic today is Kickstart Your Coding Journal, Writing Your First Line of Code with Confidence. First, I'd like to introduce myself. I am Novita and I will host you for today's event. Now, let me welcome our special guest for today. Welcome to the Honorable Dr. Joseph Teguh Santoso, as the Rector of STEKOM University, Indonesia. And welcome to the Honorable for first speaker, Dr. Stevan Jokić, as a lecturer of computer and information technology from Alfa BK University, Serbia. And the second speaker, Mr. Tornike Tchavtchavadze, as an invited lecturer, School of Computer Science and Architecture from International BK University, Georgia. And the last speaker, Mr. Setiyo Nugroho M.Kom, as a lecturer in the Computer System Department from STEKOM University, Indonesia. And last but not least, also to the honorable guests and audience today. Okay, before we begin, I have a few keeping notes here. Uh, we will start with the main event presentation by our special guest today and continue with the Q&A session. Take a picture for documentation unless time is closing. And we will go to the main event. For our audience, if you have any question for the speaker, please add them to the chat or you can raise your hand. We'll be able to answer some of the Q&A session after the presentation. Now let's please welcome our first presenter, Dr. Stevan Jokić from Alfa BK University. The time is yours. Thank you.
Thank you for introducing. I expect that something like 20 minutes or 25 minutes is okay, rough time for presentation. Perfect. So the topic is starting of the coding. A few words about me. There was a short introduction that I am with Alfa BK University. We are a private university in Serbia, located in Belgrade. I finished a PhD in electrical engineering and computer sciences. More precisely, it was telecommunication, electrical engineering, and signal processing. But somehow I moved to the computer science more than in telecommunication domain. My interest is roughly in signal processing and AI research applied in healthcare domain. I will show how it progressed, if I can say it like that. You have to make some decision in life, and when I started for high school, I probably was motivated to start with electronic high school by my hobbies and by creating electronic devices for music. After high school, I moved to the college, and normal step was in an electrical domain to stay. And after learning digital signal processing there, I started to develop audio effects for music. So I more prefer to start coding with some topic that you are interested in than just to say, I want to code. You need to have some idea what you want to perform in your programming. So my interest was in music and in signal processing, so that's how it started. Then we have some subjects with biomedical signal processing, and I chose that for my finished work. After that, I started PhD studies, and it was interesting that I was in a speech processing group of researchers. So there we didn't have some equipment for ECG or stuff like that. So I started to build it because I had some experience in electronics and signal processing. And from there, I decided to make it as much as it's possible, easy to use and affordable. So from there, I started something like Startup ECG for Everybody, where I developed a very simple ECG device, which can be used without electrodes by just placing thumbs on the device, and you can get ECG on the smartphone, and there you can process that signal to get some insight in your data. To make it work, I need a mobile application. I didn't have experience in mobile application development. When I started there, it was 2000, I think, 5 or 6 or something like that, and it was not like it was not so well developed in mobile app development like it is now. So there was struggling in that development. But of course, if you have some idea which you want to develop, then you push with your effort to make it work. Now the application has something like 200,000 users. Even if it's a startup, now I use it more for research. From that application and that ECG for Everybody platform, I collect recordings from users. So I use it for AI modeling of health and processing signal from ECG and PPG. So something that I'm currently working on is blood vessels assessment. It's a unique approach where you will be able to get some assessment of your blood vessels conditions by using only smartphone and only camera of the smartphone, no additional device. And it makes possible by collecting these near 3 million of recordings from other users. So how to start with why to learn code? My approach is always to have some, let's call it problem or some idea that you want to realize. Then of course there are career options. You can make progress if you move in coding domain in a lot of areas, not only computer science, even if you're in economy or similar or some other domains. If you are familiar with coding, you can progress faster. Now it's popular to have some innovative product, startup and stuff like that. So almost any startup now they need some programming, and of course people who start at some point they realize that it's good to learn at least some part of programming of the product that they want to develop. And of course it's something that is expected to just grow with it's a way how to understand and shape the world, not just to use it. But how to start? There is a lot of criticism in education system. Now I'm at university, you see green blackboard behind me, and people will say that school is usually learn only some specific things. They don't develop creativity. But of course, it can be seen like that, and that's why there's a lot of options for education in programming. And I was speaking to students while they are in college and they are in this formal education, let's call it. They spend years of time and money and stuff like that. While on other sides, in non-formal education, people will take some course like a few months and they will be ready for work after that. And on the college side, even after 4 or 5 years, people are still not ready for to start the job. Let's say for day one to work, they will need some time to learn how to join to teams. But with formal education, they will receive broader picture of programming and all that development, and it's expected that they will be able to learn faster any new technology, and they can switch from one technology to other. While if they are with non-formal education, they are experts at some level, but only in one field, one domain, one programming language, one framework, or stuff like that. So, of course, there is no best option. There are good sides of formal and non-formal education, but everything, nothing is ideal. Then, when we go to the programming, there is always question, yes, but which language, how to start? Is it too abstract? Is it too hard? Do I need mathematics? A lot of mathematics? Well, at the simplest explanation, developing the program is giving instructions to computers how to solve some problem. It requires some logical thinking, and it's language that anyone can learn. And here is shown some list of languages. It is just small subset. Probably anyone can count something like 10, 20 languages and expect that maybe there is something like 100 of languages there, but actually there is something like a few thousands of languages that exist, but of course they are not all at the same popularity, and there are some specific languages, and of course people don't need to learn all the languages. Some common fears that mathematics is must to know before starting computing, but more than mathematics, it's like logical thinking is important to have for good programming. It might look too complicated because people now can download or see some advanced projects which are developed in months or maybe years. And if they look at that project, they might feel like, wow, that's really complicated, where to start. But always it's good to start with something small and then grow as you learn, as you see some other needs, or if you are driven by your job or some other expectation. Like everything in life, mistakes or errors are, let's say, good to happen if you are going to learn from them and not going to repeat. Then, of course, people say it's always good to learn from errors from others, but usually it's never that effective like when you make that error. And there's always thinking that maybe I'm too old or young to start learning something new, like new language. But of course, but actually, it's very good. Even it's good for health to learn something new. So probably you're never too old, or especially not too young to start coding. So how to start? Probably the best approach is to master in the basics. Why it's important to have some background, to start with something simple, learn from mistakes. There are a lot of communities online like Stack Overflow and other sources of knowledge, and it's good to be part of that communities. And it's something learning is something like never-ending story. So never stop exploring and improving your skills. But because there's always something that you can learn and something that you can know better. Uh, so my path was to start with C or C++ if I skip high school education in programming. So at university, we start with C and C++. It's good for someone because it's more like a geek oriented language. So when I say it's not for everybody. For example, if people want to develop some websites or some what is called now front end stuff, and they're maybe more focused on design and stuff like that. So they're not that much interested in knowing basic foundation of how computer works, how memory is oriented, how you can make very efficient coding, why C++ is uh, faster than Java and some other language. Maybe that's not for them. But for people who want to really understand programming and why something works at some speed or why something is developed like that, then probably C or C++ is best option to starting. Also, a lot of language are, let's call, derived from C++. I think they're Java-like language, like Java language, C Sharp, even JavaScript. They share a lot of similarity in the in the syntax and concept of the coding and stuff like that. And it's still one of the fastest execution. If you develop app with C++, it can provide faster execution than some other languages. So something completely, let's say, different is you can start with JavaScript. Why would you do that? Well, because as I said, if you are, for example, interested in front end and development of web pages, then you will, at some moment, you will need JavaScript for animations, for beautification and stuff like that. It has very good learning curve, very approachable, let's call it like that. It's faster to learn than C or C++. In C or C++, there is even competition in writing the code that no one can understand or to guess what will you get after execution that code, because you can really write messy code which is hard to understand what is there going on. While in JavaScript it's not intended for that, it's intended for some faster development. It's good also for career, because now even if you start with some front-end motivation and you learn JavaScript, you can easily move to the and the backend, because there are there are JavaScript frameworks, Node.js, which are used on server side. So there is almost everything that you can develop with JavaScript. Even mobile application, there is a React Native, which is based on the JavaScript, and even mobile application you can develop with your knowledge in JavaScript, and it's probably something like the most popular language nowadays. And why you can easily start? Because you can hit F12 on your keyboard and you will go to the developer mode of the browser, and there you can write some code. I'm not sure if just see how to show it. because it's probably good to have some. Do you see the screen with developer mode or presentation?
We only see the presentation page.
Presentation page, just to see how to. How we can. So now you should see something that is called developer mode of the browser, and there is a console where you can start your JavaScript. So it was like this variable a. I already have variable a, so let's base. You can see there is a even error. So if you want something like loop, you can do it like this. And from the console, you don't need anything to install, anything to download or stuff like that. You can start coding from there. If and of some normal step further is to use that JavaScript in your web page to animate or to hide or to show, to fetch some data from the server, stuff like that. That's a pure, let's say, JavaScript. And then probably some further step, you will go to some framework like React, and you can develop really beautiful web application with that. And as I said, if you want to go even further, you can go to Node.js to the server side, or even to the mobile development with React Native. So I think it's very attractive language. There are other options, like why start with Python? If you are interested in Python, there you are probably interested in AI, and Python is nowadays probably the best option for development of machine learning and AI, because there is a great community, there are a lot of resources, there are a lot of libraries, and everything that is newly developed in computer science, in domain of machine learning, it's almost immediately available in Python through libraries. So probably for machine learning, now Python is the number one for that. For example, when I started to coding, it was more popular, something like MATLAB. It's something similar, but Python is now more popular. Then we say, but why we need to code when we can ask a lot of bots? There are ChatGPT, GitHub, or other options for AI-generated code. And of course, it should be used. It can it can generate a lot of useful things, like some repetitive code, some intelligent refactorization of the code, where you can explain what you want to change. And there is a lot of things that AI can do very well now. When, for example, if you need some data for training, it can generate a lot of data in the database very easily. and it should be used. It's not something that you should avoid or be aware of that, but use of AI technology should be uh, controlled by human. So creativity or critical analysis of produced code should be performed by a human, and to make human available to do it, you need to learn at some level languages, because you will need to find something like errors, or you will need to develop some big picture of the project, some system architecture knowledge, and probably AI is relatively new, and it will bring a lot of changes. Even now, people say that there is a lot of jobs will be completely replaced by AI. In programming, there is a lot of things that AI can do faster than people, but people are still needed for critical analysis and for big picture architecturing of the system, while AI can help to develop it faster. But even there are some research which shows that in big projects, AI can actually slow down projects, because if you start from scratch, then AI probably will do at very short time something very good. At least it will look like that. But if it's already at some developed level, then for AI, it's all not always easy to jump in, let's say, and to continue to work at some previous style, or how people already start to develop something in that project. So I developed a project, some AI introduction might even slow down project development. And there is hard to say exactly steps how you can move from non-developer to developer, how to start coding, but common advices are shown in this presentation. And whenever you feel that too confident that you know almost everything, that there is nothing that can surprise you, then probably you are not in good way. You should visit some educational course like Let Code, Stack Overflow, Reddit, and documentation of the platform that you are developing on. Some course you can start, and there you will see that there's probably a lot of things that you can learn more. And that's actually how it should work, like a step from basic to some advanced knowledge, and then to probably switching from technology from one to other technology, then developing some architecture of the big system, and that's some steps that you should expect, that expect you in programming, in your developing like a programmer. And we can say that expert in anything once was a beginner, so probably you can expect that from there you can develop your programming skill with proper steps.
Are you sure the presentation is enough or no?
Yes,
Oh,
I
yeah.
can,
Okay, we have three
start.
questions from participant. Yeah, for first question, is the biggest
Mhm.
barrier to learning coding technical complexity or self-confidence and mindset? The question already read in the Zoom chat also. Thank you.
Yep. As you mentioned, you can start from, for example, GitHub, and you can see some projects which are developed in years, maybe even for months or for years, and it can really look like, wow, it's very complex. But you probably should not start from there. Uh, you should start from some basic stuff and then move forward. And you can from there develop some confidence that you can develop something that really works. And as I said, if you at some moment feel like, oh, I know almost everything, then you probably should go to some educational course to see that there's a lot of things that you can learn more. And that's a progress. I can say that you can start from even some really basic knowledge or even without any experience, and then gain that experience from projects. So I
Okay.
think that's for the first question. So for for second questions, does the way coding is introduced to beginners that determines where they continue or give up early? Yes. As I said, that educational system can kill some creativity, kill some uh, uh, will for learning. For example, in high school, we worked with some programming in languages that cannot develop something really attractive at that. Because, for example, people in high school are interested in video games or stuff like that. But if you start coding with technology that cannot be used for that purpose, then they will probably look like, yeah, okay, it is nice, but I'm not going to work any further on that. So you need to find approach how to present it to make it attractive for anyone. I always ask students, for example, if they are interested more on web or more on some development of application, and from there I already have some picture what they can be interested in learning and what they expect from programming. And of course, should coding education focus more on logic, on problem solving, or on syntax? And of course, answer is probably uh, on logical side of problem solving, because that's knowledge that you can transfer from one language to another. Syntax is something that you can learn uh, when you really start to work with that language. But this expertise in logical thinking and problem solving is something that you can apply in any programming language. But of course, if you are in some non-formal education and you will need to learn fast some technology, then maybe it's best way to start with only syntax of specific language and using some, for example, framework, and then you are able to start to develop as fast as it's possible. But for big picture, it's better to have some logic and problem solving knowledge first.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. And then the last question. So coding education focus more on logic and problem solving first, or on syntax and language rulers? Thank you.
Yes, I already switched to that question, so I partially already answer that question because it's always, you can see that it's always not the best way and only do one way. You can always see this is best for that kind of guy, this is better for that kind of guy. So as I said, if you need quick switch on your career, or you want to start to be a programmer in, let's say, in 3 months or 6 months, then it's probably the best way to start with syntax and some specific language in which you are going to work, and some framework in which you are going to work to start from day one, let's say, to work on that. But if you want to stay in some programming for, let's say, longer period and expect that you will change languages like it's happened, then it's crucial to you develop your logical thinking, problem solving. And that's why I shared the link of platform where you can see a lot of problems which developers might find in programming and how to solve it, and that's develop their skills.
Okay, thank you. And I guess no one else asking again. Thank you for your time, Dr. Stevan.
Thank you.
Okay, and we will go to the second speaker for Mr. Tornike. Tchavtchavadze, the time is yours. Thank you.
Hello everyone again. So I don't have this kind of presentation, but I will share my experience, and I will try to demonstrate like a everyday working life as a IT guy. And firstly, thanks, Stefan. It was very good presentation with all the topics what you need to start your coding. So let's start with my experience. I'm in IT for more than 3 years, around 4 years, and I switched from finance to IT during the COVID period. It was like a most general part, in that period, everybody was switching from different type of positions to IT sector, and it was good decision for me as well. So how I started everything. So I was pretty successful in finance, but it was not like my thing to do. It was a little bit boring for me, and I wanted to also work on remote, have a little bit high salary, and so IT professions has a lot of advantages. So they are paid well, they have like a good benefits, they can work internationally in every company. So that was a main motivation I got. And I start learning programming languages like Java by myself. Then there are a lot of opportunities in the world, like a lot of companies have their own boot camps, their own course studies, and you can just enroll for free, start studying, and if you do everything well, they will hire you, and everything starts from this point. So the main thing is you to find any type of IT profession and somehow go in this field, and then you can find out and explore more about the IT industry. Of course, you can start searching in the Google, ask ChatGPT what kind of professions are, what are the most highly paid, and these kind of things. But of course, it will be a little bit harder to understand what will suit you perfectly. So the main part is to somehow find any position which will take you in the IT industry. So that's how I went there. My profession was test automation engineering, and I will explain you why you should start with test automation, what benefits it has, and it's quite easy profession, and also it's really highly paid. After that, I switched to DevOps engineering, and now I'm like a full stack DevOps engineer. And I work in different type of fintech companies, banking companies, and so on. So it was a really interesting journey for me. And so it's you can, when you start learning about the IT industry, you start learning about the programming, about different frameworks, about different professions. It's really easy to switch different type of professions under the IT field. So it's a little bit hard, for example, if you are studying on medicine and you want to switch in finance or something like that. But in IT sector, it's really easy. So now let me share a screen and I will show you my code, what is the daily life of a developer in test automation, what the test automation is in general, and so on. Okay. I think you see my screen. So this is a demonstration page of a login functionality. It's for to test your skills in a test automation. And let's start. What is a test automation in general? We know that there are developers who write code and create this kind of functionalities. For example, this is some kind of e-commerce platform, and if we login and click login, we will see different type of products. So let's assume that somebody is creating this kind of feature. There is always some guy in the team who will check and validate that everything this is functional, everything is working, and when user will visit this web page and try to use this kind of products, they won't have any kind of problem. So this position is called in general quality assurance. And under the quality assurance, there are manual testers and there are test automation engineers. So what manual testers do? As it says, he or she need to validate that this functionality works perfectly. So he will go and try to set a correct username, set a correct password, and try to log in. And he will validate that it is working well. Then there are different type of users. For example, we may have some kind of locked user. We may have some problematic user. And also we can set a non-valid username and non-valid password, and we should check that when you click login, there should be some kind of error that will say that there is problem with the credentials and so on. So this is what a manual tester does by manually. This is a very simple functionality, but imagine when you need to add some products in the cart and like see here, like we want to buy some kind of products. We go to the carts and we need to check out. Then we need to like maybe register or maybe like fill some kind of information here. So there are a lot of things to do, and it's the end. Like now, it's a demonstration page. There's no payment here, but yeah, where we finish, it will be written that thank you for your order. Your order is finished. So manual testers will do this kind of things every day for when we have every version, when there is something new in the code. So it's a little bit routine. Also, it's a high chance of a human error. So that's why exists new position, test automation engineering. It's it started mainly like after 2000 year. So it's like a quite new than like coding and writing a new product. Also, of course, we should take into the consideration that in the IT sector, mainly everything is changing rapidly. So everything is modernized. Everything is like a very dynamic, very fast. For example, if you compare to finance sector or like any other sectors, so we can see that some things are like same as it was 5 years ago and 10 years ago in finance sector, for example. But in IT, it's almost there is nothing that we can find. It's similar to things that was 10 years ago. Everything is modernized, everything is very fast changing, and in every position you are going to be, you need to have good adaptation skills. You need to learn new technologies. You need to use AI as a tool, definitely, and of course also AI will have some kind of impact on every IT field in the future. So there is some kind of fear that AI will replace some positions, and it will be like that in several years. But in test automation, it will be a little bit harder. So why? Because there is a lot of complex human logic. There's a lot of different type of scenarios that from this point it will be hard for AI to cover 100%. Yes, it will. For example, if we need 5 engineers right now, maybe in the future we will need 2 or 1. But in general, there always will be some kind of QA guy in the team that will validate that this functionality works. So maybe AI will write some kind of products like these e-commerce ones, but there should be somebody that will make sure that everything is good, and when we release the product, there will be some kind of problem on the production, and there are a lot of legal problems in this case, because there should be like a users experience, users privacy, users information should be kept safe, and there are a lot of things to take into the consideration. So that's why quality assurance guy will always exist. So I showed you this kind of like a flow that manual tester will check that everything works from a user's perspective. But what if we know that users have a different type of laptops, different type of browsers, different type of mobile devices? Somebody is using Mac, somebody is using Windows, Apple, or Android, and so on. So in this case, manual tester should do everything, these routine things, routine tests on every different type of resolution, every different type of device. So it's really high risk to be demotivated. Also, it's really high risk to make some mistakes. That's why we have test automation in this case, and I will demonstrate some kind of code how it works. So let me share the also about the coding, it's really easy to start coding because AI will help you in every case. It will write code for you, it will explain it for you, it will tell you how it works, and also code editors where you are going to work mainly in working lives. This is a code editor where you have your whole project and the place where you write code. So here also every code editor, there are different type of companies, but everyone has some kind of AI tool integrated here. So it's really easy. Also, so let's just talk about the test automation a little bit. So we know that how manual testers check that functionality works, and now we need to check it automatically. So what it means, we wrote some kind of code, and we have like some bots, we can say like this. And these bots will do this manual tester's job by itself, just for only one code. So, for example, it's really easy in test automation to write code because we are not using very advanced level of programming. There are different type of libraries. For example, like maybe you have here the Selenium, Playwright, and so on. And these kind of libraries have their own syntax. And for example, here, it's really easy to understand. We have some kind of object which is called driver, and it is a Chrome driver object. So this means that we want to run tests on Chrome. So we are talking this driver that, okay, let's open this page. Then find me some element. This is everything on this page is called element. Also, this is called dev tools, and we open using inspect. There are a lot of modules here, and the elements are listed here. So this is some kind of element, and we need to set some data here. Also, there is a password element. We need to set password here, and after that, we need to click login. So we are just telling driver that please find username and send value standard user. And please do same on the password input as well and send some password. And after that, you can click on the login button. So that's the whole job. For example, let's run. It will be very fast. So maybe you won't be able to see it at the first sight, and I will try to slow them down. So this is how it works. It's like a daily life of a test automation engineer. Now let's do like a little bit sleeps. So also, when you're trying to write some kind of code in the code editor, there is always a lot of suggestions, always a lot of options listed here when you just write only one word. So it's not necessary to learn everything you see here by heart. Just you need to like learn logic, learn how things are working, and everything else comes with the practice. And so there are like a lot of students I have in the university who are from like who start learning IT profession from the university, but I have a lot of friends who switch from different type of positions, from medicine, from finance, from gastronomy, but they are doing the same great job as these students. So it's not necessary to start like programming from a childhood. So now let's continue and see how everything works. A little bit slower. So it opens browser automatically, it sets user the password, and it goes on the products list. And so in this case, we can have different type of scenarios. We can like route whole scenario from like a login to choosing product to checkout and so on. And in this case, it's very useful, it's very stable, and also it's a new profession, test automation, and that's why you can like get this kind of jobs easily. Also, let's say about what expectation you should have about the income and so on. For example, as a junior engineer, you can get minimum maybe 800 USD per month from the starting point. Then you should change some levels. For example, there is a upper junior level, then there is a middle level, there is also seniority level, and so on. And when you are like developing yourself, starting new, learning new frameworks and learning new technologies, and you are doing everything well, you are getting raises easily. So you are getting this like a new positions like a middle senior easily. You can get be senior test automation engineer in 4 years, for example, if you start right now. And after you become senior engineer, you can work remotely in every country. Of course, there are some kind of legal restrictions, but some companies offer you relocation, some companies offer you like work remotely in your company, in your country, because they have an office in your country. And so there are always different type of opportunities. Also, I suggest you to like have a good LinkedIn profile. And in this case, there are some recruiters always text you, always offer you some kind of jobs, because we all know that finding a job is really like exhausting. So LinkedIn will help you in this case very much. And after you will become senior engineer, you can have like a stable income, like a 3,000 USD, 4,000 USD minimum per month. Also, in general, test automation is really easy to do. You are not stressed. You are not like forced to like to do your tasks in some kind of very short term. And so it's like a little bit less stressful position regarding other positions. For example, I have developer friends who are like always short in time. I'm a DevOps engineer right now, and I have to be at the office always. I have to like check everything is working in the midnight, and it depends on. It's not always like this, but it depends. And in test automation, it's more like a cheerful. You don't have to work on site. You can work on remote mainly. And so it's a little bit easy, a little bit flexible, a little bit like highly paid also, we can say like this. So I think if you try to check this position and like try to explore it a little bit more, you will find it interesting. And also it's one of the easiest IT profession you can start. That's all from my side. If you have any questions, I'm happy to hear it.
Okay, thank you for your presentation, Mr. Tornike. And we have 3 questions from participants. First, are traditional programming languages like C or Java the best starting point, or should beginner begin with more accessible tools and language? Thank you.
So I will repeat the question. So which programming language, Java, or which one is more like a better option to start with?
Yeah, with more accessible tool and language.
Okay, in test automation, mainly is Java because most of the frameworks which are used in this field are written in Java. But you can learn any kind of language. You can learn JavaScript, Python, and C Sharp, and every language is useful in this field. But mainly, I will recommend Java because Java, there is some kind of saying that it's a little bit harder rather than Python. But it's not like that. I don't know why this mentality exists. So it's really easy programming language. Also, there is a different type of programming languages, and Java is most universal one. Also, it's really easy to maintain the code written in Java. Also, when you run Java code, it has its own virtual machine, and it's really easy to use because it's like a most, how can I say, most universal language. So I will recommend you Java.
Okay, thank you. And then the next question, how can educator make the first coding experience empowering rather than intimidating? Thank you.
Sorry, I don't hear it very well. It was like a maybe connection has some kind of problem. Can you write the question in the chat?
I'll already read in the Zoom chat also, ma'am. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, how can educator make the first coding experience empowering rather than intimidating? The question already read in the Zoom chat.
Okay. This one. Okay. How can it produce make the first code experience? Um, how can I say? IT industry is a very different type industry rather than the common industries we know, say medicine. Here, everything is mainly based on practice. So, Stevan shared dev tools. There was a console there. So, in this case, it's you are learning everything from practice and not from theory. So, just writing some one line of code is like a always very big step, and it's like in general you need consistency. You need to do everything every day. From the beginning it will be a little bit harder, maybe it will be a little bit hard to understand, but after that I promise every day will be a little bit easier and easier, and you are like gaining experience on day-to-day life. But most important thing is to have some kind of consistency. And third question is, do students learn coding more effectively through structured lesson or through experimentation? And of course, the second one, you need to have as many experiments, you need to have as many real projects, as many real lifetime experience as possible. You don't have to learn anything in IT by heart. You need to try to experience it in the working life as soon as possible, or try to simulate it in your home, in your room, maybe. You need to try to work on some kind of real projects in your computer. It's not necessary to learn anything by heart. That's all.
Okay, thank you for your answer. I guess no one else is asking again, sure. Thank you for your time, and we will go to the last speaker for Mr. Setiyo Adi Nugroho. The time is yours. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Miss Novita. Okay, I would like to say hello for Mr. Stevan and Mr. Tornike that share a lot of information in this presentation, and I would like to share my presentation too. Wait a second. Wait a second. Okay. Today I would like to talk about learning to code and an easy and enjoyable journey. So, focus in the how we can learn coding with as easy as way. Uh, for for introduction, coding is the language of the future. So, when we are talking about code, I guess just like Mr. Tornike or Mr. Stefan know and on the programming know that programming language is still the same. That's begun a global. Maybe they have write comment on their code, but if when there is no comment, if we are already a good programmer, we can trace the code, we can understand the code because we all on the programming have a same logic of thinking. That's why coding is become the language in the future because if everybody have ability to do coding, they will think with a same process. They they can read the code and in easy way because they know after this will be just like this. And where is the module? We will search where is the module. Okay. I'm sorry. I will turn off my mobile first. Okay. Now the word is changed. The word all become depend on digital. So when we are talking about coding, coding is become the main source or the main process to make digital world running. So the code is now become a power for website to AI and to robotic that become the future technology in our world. And anyone can learn to code regardless of background or age. So today, coding is much easier because I'm already old. I almost 50. I first learned coding is in 1997, I guess. So at the time, coding is not as easy as now because now there is a ChatGPT, there is a DeepSeek that can help us to make a code. But today is also there is a programming coding for kids. Kid can learn kid under age is can learn coding by using a simple application to make they think they have a logic to make a program. So now we can learn code even you were old or you still very young. And then why learn to code? Because code is open career opportunity. Because today is a digital era. So when we are talking about code, I guess there is a lot of need for coding, maybe for robotic or maybe for website, maybe for anything for research and development, and a lot of things have to build using coding of programming code. And it was problem solving and logic skill because when we are talking about uh, today technology and today need, we cannot depend on our brain. We have to use computer because today is very complex. It's not just like maybe 30 years ago or 40 years ago when everything is written down by hand and people is not like as much as now and they don't need a lot of things and today everyone is need to connect as fast as possible. So coding is very become a problem solving. And then it turn idea into a real project. It make project much easier because maybe when we are talking, oh, I'm sorry, I cannot calculate this because it's too hard. But when we can make a code and we entering into the computer, it become easier. So it can help us to build our project. And coding enable you to understand and shape technology. Okay, because if you learn code, you know that coding is keep developing. It's keep developing and reshaping the word, reshaping the technology. Before at first I learned just like basic language that become a Visual Basic, and then become basic.net, VB.net, and now everything is different. So the technology is keep developing. So if you try to understand the code and try to following the development of coding, you will keep understand and can shape the technology. And let's talk about myth and sorry, myth and fact about code. Again, the myth coding is only for genius. That's not because reality everyone can learn with practice. The point is how much you practice. It's not about how smart you are, but how much you practice. And the myth, you need a computer science degree. The reality, many coder are self-taught. Okay, I will talk about my experience after this. And the myth is it is too hard. Reality is like learning a new language. And the myth, I'm too old. And the reality is never be too late. Okay, I will discuss about me. Yeah, okay. At first, I have economic degree, so I'm not a computer person. I have an economic degree, but I have a computer. So I like coding because it's fun. It's fun for me. And then uh, it's just a self-talk. I just buy book and then I make a code. And then after I pass my economic degree and I work as assistant manager in the factory, the warehouse need a computerized system. And then I join the system. I make the system. That's before I have a computer degree. So that means there's no problem on if you don't have a computer degree, you still can build a program as long as you eager to learn. You eager to learn. But okay, because suddenly I switch my work from from assistant manager because from administrative work and then go to IT and then I go become a designer and become a multimedia developer. So I change my way and then I study in computer science and then take a master on the computer science. But actually, before I have a computer science degree, I already can make a program. So that's not that doesn't mean that you must have a computer degree, but you eager to learn. You need to learn to understand and to enjoy the code. If you have a fun on coding and uh you can make a program with happy with fun. And then because I want to be more professional, so I took the computer degree and then took the master degree, and now I become a lecturer. But actually, at first, I'm and have economic degree. Okay, and then me, I'm too old. Actually, that's not a problem. At first, I study coding is on 1997, I guess. Maybe some of you haven't born yet. Uh, so I learned at the first is using I learned basic basic language. It's called basic, and then it's developed into visual basic. It's a structural language, structural language. So the code have to be written from top to down. That's a good. And at first, I'm enjoy with this code because not like the object-oriented programming, just like no, just like Java, just like Python, just like every programming right now. At the first, programming is structural, all written down. It's easy to understand, but it cannot be developed into such a huge program. It's very hard if you have maybe a million of code in one in the one line. It's very hard. So the condition, the technology is become changing and is now is object-oriented programming. It have a different way of thinking. If you have a different way of thinking. First, I learned the object-oriented program is on the first. I learned it from the action script of Flash. This have a similar with C++, and then I learned C++, and then I learned because I like microcontroller, and then I learned C. Arduino language. Arduino language is looks like C++. And then because now the trend on the academic on the academic and the world is Python, then I learn to Python. And then I learn Python. And I already old. I almost 50 and I still can learn. So there's no problem if you too old. There is no too old. There's no too old for coding. What you need is you have to eager to learn, want to learn, and like to learn the code. That's the key. There's no problem if you are still young or you are too old. And then when we start coding, for today, there is a lot of uh, language, coding language like Pascal, Node.js, PHP. This is I forgot it. Microsoft.NET, C++, C Crash, Python, JavaScript. There is a lot of code. There's a lot of code. Java, just like Mr. Tornike talking about Java, and there is PHP. I'm very familiar with PHP, and JavaScript from Mr. Stevan talking about JavaScript. But uh, I will recommend Python because it's easy, and I will demonstrate a little about Python. And so when we are start coding, first we have to choose the language. That's depend on you, depend on the source you have, the community you have, and then install on your code editor, and then write your first hello world. Hello world is the most common tester in the programming. If you can write hello world, and you will be happy. That means your program is running. Okay, and then challenge yourself with small project. I guess when we are learning, the most important thing is be success. We have to success. Even just a small, but if you make something and you success, you will want uh to do more and keep practice. So challenge with small project, not by making a huge project and you didn't understand what to do. Just try to make maybe a calculation between A plus B. Okay, and then go further, keep making yourself become a better programmer, and keep learning every day. Coding is fun if you like it. Yeah, sometimes I make a code just for fun. Okay, but there is one thing that you should remember, that when we are talking code uh is not tolerate to simple mistake, just like quote or parenthesis. It's not uh it's not tolerable to wrong indentation. It's not tolerable to uppercase and lowercase incorrectly. So when you learning code, there is the good one is you become more disciplined on making just like variable or something that. So if you use uppercase, that means you must keep using the uppercase, and if you use lowercase, you have to follow it using lowercase, and then always read error message. Always read error messages. And I guess just like Mr. Tornike or Mr. Stevan, uh, you both speak English very well. But I guess this is the problem between in the country, that not everyone use English. Indonesia is not talking English. So some people cannot understand English at all. But when we are coding, actually, if we make a problem, we make an error, there is a syntax error and there is an explanation on it. So when I teach coding and the students say that, no, I don't know why this is happen, is not running. I said that just read the syntax error. Just read the comment, just read the error message. Translate it. But yeah, maybe because he cannot understand English, maybe just become a big problem for them. But actually, coding, most of coding, when we have an error, is already written what is the problem on your code. And if you cannot solve, when I make a code and I cannot solve the problem, I copy the error message and paste on the Google. And then there is a lot of help from Google, from answer, from a lot of forum that talking about this error. What is the problem of this error? Usually, because because of this. When actually understanding the error message is very important. And so I guess one thing also that's important for coding is also you must have a good enough English, or at least you can translate the error message. Okay. So in here, I recommend Python. Okay, why? Because Python for me is the most easiest way to learn programming. Okay, Python is now one of the most popular language in the world, often ranking number one or number two, compared with JavaScript. And number second is JavaScript and Java, and it used widely in AI and machine learning. Yeah, Python is supply really very important when we want to learn about AI and machine learning, because on the library that really support on this technology, just like TensorFlow, PyTorch, and on the data science, just like Panda, NumPy, Matplotlib. In this, uh, at at first, there is just like Mr. Stevan is said about MATLAB, but now it can be replaced by Python, because there's a Matplotlib, NumPy that really good in the calculating data. And also Python have a library for web development, just like Django, Flash, and Fast API. And Python is very good also in the automation and scripting. Uh, Python have a separate language called MicroPython. That's the Python for uh, microcontroller. Small IC that do small calculation, do low power calculation, and the Python is also provide the language for microcontroller. And Python is very good for education because it easy to learn. Okay, and then okay, why simple? Why is easy to learn? Because it's simple and readable syntax. Syntax. Python code is easy to read and write, almost like English. When I use Python, I remember basic when I use basic. Why I cannot use C at the first at the first time I learn language, I learn coding before I go to university, because C is complicated. But when I use basic, it's easy to understand. And for now, Python is the most easy to understand for me. This is the example when we are talking about hello world. It's compared between Java, C++, and Python. If you look at the Java, you have to define the class first, the class, and there is a static void, and this is static void. Or in the C++ is integral main, int main. This is very common when I use Arduino. Is always keep typing main sub letters. And for even a simple typing here word is a little bit complicated. But when using Python, it's just like print and then quote hello world, just like that. So Python is much easier, much easy to understand. And then uh, Python is also cross uh, cross uh, cross platform, cross platform. Python and Java and JavaScript is win the competition in the coding because it's a cross platform. Python, Java, JavaScript is cross-platform. So what is cross-platform? Cross-platform. That means when we make a code, we just only use the compiler for the OS, just like window for if we are talking about Python. When we use window, we can compile it by using PyInstaller and become on the output become executable file, exe file. Android, you can use TV and Bulldozer or Beware, and the output will be APK file. Linux, PyInstaller, and then the output can be Debian, Deb, or app image or other. Depend on the Linux because Linux have a lot of variation. And for Mac OS, uh, coding that write by Python is also can be used by Py2app for the compiler. So what is compiler? Compiler is the code of your program is compile is made to be able to run in the operating system. Mac OS is also can be used by Py2app, and then a common tool for Beware. It can be used for Windows, Android, Linux, and Mac OS. So basically, Python is cross-platform, just like Java, just like JavaScript. It can be used for every operating system. That's different because when we are talking just like Visual Basic, just like Visual Basic or Visual.net. When we make a program using Microsoft Visual Basic, it's only run on the Microsoft. There is maybe a lot of porting, it's called porting, to change from OS to another OS. This called porting, and there's a lot of work to be able to run in the other operating system. But if you use Python, just have on the core coding, and then you can use what compile you need to be run on your operating system. And then huge community support. Yes, Python has one of the largest community programming community. There's a lot of tutorial, countless free tutorial on YouTube, on internet, on Instagram, on Facebook. There's a lot of people sharing using Python because Python is easy and then is used mostly in the academic way, in the academic system. So people will because it's in academic, not in commercial, not in commercial system. So everyone can make something and then share, make something and then share, and we can use the sharing coding and cut it, and maybe part of that we only need, and then we develop our program, and it keep developing. That's how the open source work. So Python become develop in the very fast way, and then have a lot of have a huge community in this in the programming. So when we have a huge community, it's become easy to get help. And usually someone has likely solved your problem before. Yeah, because actually in my in my experience, I never ask in the group, I never ask something as a question in the forum, because when I type my problem, it's already available and already have us the problem is already solved. Just what we need is just read the forum, and then I find the problem. I find the problem solving, and maybe yes, maybe sometime that mean you have to understand that there's no way it cannot run. Yeah, there's maybe just like a hardware or something that yes, I finally know that my computer is cannot run this because there is no library or something that I have to find the library. So uh, actually most of the problem is already solved before. So very important you to to find the community, and then the community is a lot. It's like maybe I will read just like Reddit, Stack Overflow. Stack Overflow is very huge community, and real Python, and then just like Kaggle, GitHub. A lot of people use GitHub for sharing the Python, and PyData, Django, MicroPython for the anyone who use Python in the microcontroller, PyTorch, and so the community is very huge. So you won't be left behind when you learn Python. And high demand in industry. Python is among most in-demand language globally. I guess it's compared with Java and JavaScript. It's most used language, and it widely used in the startup, data science, and automation, and is a great choice for both learning and future career. So, when we learn Python, it's badly used and it's really demand. So it's not it will be very useful if you learn Python. For example, Instagram is made by Django. Pinterest use Python for server-side development. Dropbox use a desktop client in the Python. Reddit is also a website written in Python. Netflix, Spotify, SpaceX use Python for data analysis. Yes, just like Mr. Stevan said that Python is very good, very powerful for data analytic and machine learning. Even Netflix, Spotify, SpaceX, NASA use Python for data processing, simulation, automation. And then Google Colab. This is become the main tool for Python based data science experiment. Okay, and one thing that I like in the Python enforce indentation. Indentation is in many programming language doesn't force indentation. That's depend on you. You want to indentation or not. But indentation is very important for us to understand the structure. I have made a code, a long code, and then suddenly I start to make indentation, even it's not neat, because I need to see in the loop. I need to see in the loop the code that this one is part of this one is part of this. So it needs indentation, and the Python force it. So when you use Python, your coding is organized neatly. It's organized very good. There is no messy problem. Messy code. Messy code because sometimes I make a messy code and the code is right on, and then it's become for me, even for me who make become confused because too many code, and then there is no indentation to make the code is neatly and easy to read. And then make this this type of code make other can read the code easier, even for the large project. So Python developer tend to write code that looks similar, clean, structure, and easy to follow. That's when I like in the Python. And then learning Python give you a solid foundation in core programming concept that exists in the nearly every language. Concept you master in Python will be variable, condition, uh, function, object and class, error handling, algorithm and logic. And then if you learn Python, it will be easier for you to learn language like C, Java, JavaScript, or C++, become easier. This is the uh okay. When I first learning, I learned structural language, the basic. The basic is really different than all this. So when I learn from basic to C++, there is a lot of thing to be changed to change the way of thinking. But when you learn Python, actually you can understand the Java, you can understand the C++ because it have a same concept. So when you learn Python, it will be easier for you if you need to switch program, switch coding, and you just read the code and then you can understand, oh, this after this, and then go to what module. It's still same, have a same similar language. Okay, summary about Python is easy, it's fast setup, it's multi-purpose, and then have a big community and have a great career potential. And there is one thing that in the recent year is become learning Python is become more easier because of Google Colab. So when we learn coding, using Python, it have minimal setup required. That means you only need computer that can run Chrome, and then you need internet. You don't have to do installing anything because in the Google Colab is already have a Python. In the Google Colab is already have a Python, so you don't have to uh, you don't have you don't have to install, because when I learn Python first, installing Python is not as easy. It's not really easy because there is a library and everything that sometimes is not easy for beginner, and no need for compiler or heavy configuration, and it's perfect for learning quickly and testing code instantly. Okay, you don't need installation. You don't need install Python editor or package. You just open collab research google.com. And then already pre-installed library that have a strong and powerful capability, just like NumPy, Panda, Matplotlib, scikit-learn for data science, TensorFlow, Torch, PyTorch is already available. Automation and visualization too. So that means you can skip the complicated setup, because at first I learn Python, I have to install NumPy, I have to install Matplotlib, I have to install Panda, TensorFlow. It's all have to be installed by me. But if you use Google Colab, it's already available. And then interactive learning the environment and have a real-time feedback. You can test idea quickly, and if you make mistake, you only have one cell fail, and then it's also use cloud storage and sharing. It's saved on the Google Drive automatically. You can share them just like Google Doc. Share. This is great for teacher, student, and team project. And one thing that for me is very important for poor lecturer or poor student like me and many of us, just like when we are talking about AI need a very good computer, because processing AI is need a GPU and CPU. So you have to at least have a very good computer with a good graphic card, and it's expensive. Not everyone have money to buy it, and I don't have to. My student also don't have to, because it's a very expensive. And why should I buy GPU that very expensive that I don't like to play game anymore? But it's very important for AI. So the solution, the Google Colab provide it. So even your computer is old or slow, you can train large model easily. I even use my Core 2 Duo, try to make object detection using Google Colab. It's okay, it's fine, because actually the one who thinking is on the server of Google, not on my Core 2 Duo computer. So it's okay, it can run. So that means it also not only cut on the process of installing, it's also cut on the cost of study. It's cut on the cost of study, and that's important for developing country like Indonesia, or maybe a poor country, or yeah, the one who cannot simply by an expensive video card or GPU. Okay, so I would like a little bit demonstration on the collab, Google collab. Just a little, I guess my time is almost over. Okay, this is the Google collab, and I have to test before. Okay, so I will start again. I just simply type hello or okay, and then I press this. Okay, syntax error, of course, this won't run. Okay, but there is an explain error. Because it's use internet, you still need to wait for the code. Nah. Okay, there's an explanation that code is wrong. It should be print with column, then accept and run, and this is the correction. Print hello world. Okay, so I will modify this. I just type N assume 5. P is 6. And then print N plus N plus B. Okay, run. Okay, syntax error because I make a mistake. Okay, waiting for the internet to work. Okay, accept and run. Okay, okay, now the code is correct. Oh, so easy to understand to learn coding using Python by this way. Yes, you can ask for just like ChatGPT, make us a code using Python, what kind of problem you want, and then usually ChatGPT can provide us a code, and then I just copy and transfer to Colab and it's run. So it's very easy to understand Python, and I guess the most important is you want to learn or not, because now today when we are talking coding, it's become so easy, so easy. You don't have to install, you don't have to, even you don't have an idea for, this is my example, I don't know how to type the code and then just typing and then it's okay. Okay, I guess that's my presentation. Okay, I guess that's the end of my presentation, Miss Novita.
Okay, thank you so much for your presentation, Mr. Nugroho. And we have three questions from participants. First, is it more important to master one language deeply at the beginning or to explore multiple languages to find the right fit? Thank you.
Is it more important to master in one language deeply at the beginning or explore multiple language? Okay, I guess it's important to explore one language deeply in the beginning, because if you explore multiple language, you will run out the time only just to compare between one and two. But at first, you have to make a survey, which one is important, which one is fit for you. If you, I guess Python is fit for me, and then I will choose Python and focus on that. Or maybe if you like microcontroller, and I guess I would like to use C++ because C++ is more better in the microcontroller, and then you can focus on the C++, but don't keep switching between between language because that make you learn more harder. I guess that's the question, my answer. And number two, does fear making mistake hold the beginner back more than actual difficulty of coding? Yes, fear of making mistake hold beginner back. So don't be afraid with mistake. If you have a mistake, you can solve it by try to contact the forum and read the forum for the solving the problem solving. But also please remember you save the code. You just please don't just keep trying, but you forget to keep the previous code. So you don't know what is the problem because you keep making a problem and then try again and then you keep making it become worse. So keep your coding and then the running code and then you make another code that have a problem and then you try to modify it, but the running code you still have to keep it. Okay, and then the third one, should coding be taught as a universal skill like reading and writing, or remain specialized discipline? Okay, coding should be taught as universal skill. I guess the most important is to have the logic, to understand the logic. You cannot force everyone to learn coding, but it's very important for everyone to understand the logic. That's why in Indonesia there is a curriculum in the for the student, for young kid. There is a coding for kid. That means they not coding, but they try to understand the process of logic of making code, making program, and that's important because to understand the logic of computer, how computer thinking will make us become smarter, make us become more structural, and have a better way to solve the problem. Okay, I guess the my answer, Miss Novita.
Okay. Okay, thank you. And I guess no one else asking again. Before I close this event, for all participants, please open your camera. I will take a picture on the count of three for documentation. Okay, one, two, three. Okay, another one. One, two, three. Thank you for your keen cooperation. Finally, we come to the end of webinar today. We would like to thank you for our speaker for the wonderful information and sharing your knowledge. We hope this information will be beneficial for our participants. At least we have a more collaboration in the future. The webinar for today and here. We hope to see you soon. Thank you and have a nice day and goodbye.
Bye bye, Novita.
Goodbye. Thank you.